All right, let's get it going. You like my little welcome intro? Good morning, everyone. Let's make sure everybody can hear me. Let me stop these sounds in the background. Good morning, everyone. My name is Alima. I'm the Community Development Supervisor here at Broward Healthy Start Coalition. And I have my partner in crime on here as well, Cassandra Burrell. Cassandra, come off mute and introduce yourself and let them know what we got going on today.
Well, let me let the people know, Alima. I am Cassandra Burrell, and like she said, this is Alima. We are the dynamic duos of Baby Shower at this point. I'm telling you the truth because we've heard from the feds at this point. They want us to host their stuff.
Certified.
So you guys are in for such a good treat. It's going down. And guess what, Alima, we are making this just for Broward County. So this is how much we love you guys and we love our community. So welcome to our Shower to Empower. This is our 14th one?
14th annual.
We are on 14. That means we are not only teenagers, we're about to get our driver's license. So we are super, super excited to be here. Alima, let the people know what is going to happen today.
Well, I want to say good morning to everyone. I'm sorry I didn't even have my chat on, but I see everybody. They're jumping in. Good morning to everyone that's on here. Jenny, Shay, Carolina, Amelia, Tiara. I have lovely Shah, Zara, Karina, Benita, Stephanie, and the list goes on. Welcome, everybody.
Right.
Listen,
Welcome,
what I need y'all
guys.
to do for one is hit that share button, okay? We want everybody, we want your friends to know if they have babies, if they're pregnant and have an infant or children that are up to 12 months, this event is for them, this information is for them, so we need them to sign on so they can learn all about it, okay? So today we're gonna have 3 presentations from 3 great presenters. First up, we're gonna have a presentation from Esther McCann. She's the CEO and founder of the Metro Mommy Agency. She's a certified doula, and Cassandra's gonna get into all that because she's up first. And then we're also going to have Dr. Mario Zambrano live from Sun Life Pediatrics. He is a pediatrician. His office is in Pembroke Pines. And then we're going to finish it off with Tashia Richards, who's a registered nurse, certified doula, childbirth educator, co-founder of Heritage Birth Collaborative. And she's going to talk about postpartum recovery, health, and just getting over that hump and what to do once baby is now here. All right, so we have a lot to go on. I want to start out by thanking our sponsors because without them, this wouldn't be possible. So we
Correct.
have Humana Memorial Healthcare System, Simply Healthcare Plan, Florida Kid Care, Children's Services Council of Broward County, Banyan Health, Cleveland Clinic. It kind of like cut off Sunshine Health. Um, Help me out, Cassandra Community Care Plan. It's a lot that signed on board for this, and I don't have them all in front of me. I feel like I hit them all on the nose.
You
But you're going
did.
to see a commercial from them just to see what they have going on, and to make sure you're ready to come out tomorrow to meet everyone in person and have a good time with us. So I'm going to let Cassandra tell you all about Bippy, and then she's going to bring up Esther, and we're going to get the show on the road.
Whoop,
Enjoy.
whoop. Yes. So, you guys, this event would not be possible without the help of community partners. And we all sit on this committee, this advisory called BIPI, which is Black Infant Health Practice Initiative. So, I just wanted to give you guys a heads up of what it means, because I know it's a lot when we come down to acronyms. But basically, what we want to do is make sure that we want the community to understand, and our goal is to service Black women and their babies. And Black women deserve to have healthy pregnancy and healthy babies, right? So those numbers that we see every month doesn't show that. We do have a big difference, and there's a disparity between the numbers of Black babies that are dying in Broward versus the white babies. So we have this big goal that we created under BIPI. And our mission is basically to eliminate the health disparities and Black infant deaths in Broward County. So let me just tell you the reasons. That's basically who we are, right? So we're community partners working together to reduce the number of Black babies that are dying in Broward County because of health disparities and racism. But let me tell you how we do it. So what we do is we educate the community on how to have healthy pregnancy and babies. So this shower is actually one of the things that we do, right? We connect Black families and caregivers to community services and resources, and then we work with partners to decrease health disparities and racism in our community. Now, why do we do it? Which is the reason that I started out. Black babies in Broward County are 3 times more likely to die before birth. That's a big deal. 1.5 times more likely to be born more than 2 weeks before their due date. And they're 3 times more likely to die before their first birthday. So we just wanted to make sure that the community is aware of these statistics, and we also want to do something about it. So the Shower to Empower is here to educate our moms, and of course we're here to have some fun, but it's a lot of education, and we just want to make sure that you guys have all the tools that are in place so we can have healthier babies in Broward County. So we're so thankful that you guys decided to join us. I did want to give a quick shout out to BIPI committee members. Thank you so much for making this happen. And then I think we can go on. So what I want to do first, Alima, I'm going to go and kick into what we're going to do first is our first speaker. She is on the line and is ready. Her name is Esther McCann. So she is a Miami native. So Broward County, don't hate on her. But she's a Miami native, and she's of Haitian American descent. So that means Moun ki parle Creole. She can help you in your language as well. She graduated with a bachelor's degree in biology from University of Miami, and she has a passion for birth work. So she does. Esther is a certified birth doula, a postpartum doula. She's a maternal health specialist. She's a midwife assistant. She is a certified lactation counselor. Esther, is there something you don't do? One of the biggest things that she loves to do is assist our community. And before, I had to get her to change this, you guys, because she runs her own business as well as a birth professional. And she just said Miami. And I was like, ooh, don't do that. You know, Broward's going to hate. So I told her to add Broward. And she was like, of course, I'm always in Broward. So she is super excited to be here with us. She's also a mentor to new doulas who are getting started. And she is just passionate all around about serving our moms who want more confidence during their pregnancy and even beyond. So Esther, I don't want to speak more because I know you got it, but welcome Esther with Metro Mommy Agency. Thank you, Esther. Take it away.
Thank you so much, Cassandra. Wonderful intro. You did a fantastic job. And welcome to everyone that I cannot see right now, but I know you're there. I feel you. So I'm here to talk to you today about how doulas can empower you, right? To have a better birth experience. And so, on my agenda today is a little bit about my vision and my mission, a little bit about me, and I guess my journey into this work, the benefits of a doula. We're also going to inquire a little bit about why you may need a doula. Do you need a doula at all? Let's figure that out today. And we'll show you a little bit about the process to become a client, a doula client, and hire a doula. And then lastly, throughout the actual presentation, we'll go through some of my top tips for pregnancy, birth, and breastfeeding. So my mission, when I decided to create Metro Mommy Agency back in 2015, I thought about the different ways that I was just naturally influencing and supporting the pregnant families around me or the mothers around me. And I said, this has to be a part of my mission, to influence, to enlighten, to serve women with support and education, because like Cassandra said, you need to be prepared for this, so that you can navigate through your journey into motherhood. And right, because we don't want motherhood to stop you, right? But we want you to also become healthy contributors to the wellness of your society. So starting with your family that you are starting now, during your pregnancy, you want to be able to contribute to that family being healthier too, and the families outside of that. And my vision is that, we'll live in communities where these birth disparities are eliminated, right? And that's a very strong word, but I do believe that this problem, with our Black moms and babies dying more often, can be eliminated, as women like yourself, are fully equipped for birth and beyond, and continue to build healthy families with confidence. That's what I believe. And so how I do this is by, number one, preparing my families, helping them prevent certain possible issues, especially when it comes to like diet related issues, which we'll talk about later. Patience, giving them patience, being patient in the laboring process with them. And then also practice, ensuring that they practice all of the tools and the techniques and the education that we've provided throughout their pregnancy so that they can be successful. And then lastly, parent, right? The end goal here is that, we want you to come out of the birth feeling so empowered that you don't feel like your birth is an obstacle or traumatic, right? And that it hinders your ability to physically and mentally be present for your child. Okay. So a little bit about why this is important is because, I've lived it, I've walked it. I have 4 boys of my own, all of which I've given birth to, naturally with midwives. A couple of them born in Broward County, and none in Miami-Dade County, which is very interesting, even though I live here. Um, and becoming a doula meant that I was going to be able to exercise this gift to talk to people and communicate with them in a very friendly, sisterly, loving kind of way. But still, it feeds my need to teach, right? And my desire to teach and my passion to teach. So right now, I actually am co-chairing the Healthy Baby Task Force here in Miami-Dade County. And I contribute to the Miami Mom Collective, which is a blog. You all now have a Broward Mom Collective, which is awesome. And then I'm also a part of the Jasmine Project here in Miami-Dade County. We do work a lot with Healthy Start participants, so increasing education and social media support as well. I'm also a mentor for new doulas. I work with the Southern Birth Justice Network, which also promotes helping Black families with their birthing experiences as well. And I recently was awarded a Mobilize grant from the Carrie Meek Foundation, to increase awareness about doulas, but also to increase access to doulas. So I want to just pause for a moment, and just ask you all while you're on this call to just take a moment and use all 5 of your senses: sight, touch, smell, hearing, and taste. And just dream with me a little bit about what you would like your birth to be like. Okay. If you are able to grab a pen and paper and write this down, that's even better. But I want you to do this because one of the biggest questions that come up when I'm interviewing new families who want to hire a doula is I always ask them, what is it that they envision? What do they want out of working with a doula or out of their birthing experience? And what I tend to find is that they always tell me what they don't want first. I don't want to feel restricted. I don't want to feel like I can't move. I don't want to be ignored. I don't want to die. These are the things that I'm hearing from a lot of our Black families. There's a lot of fear associated with this. But what I would encourage you to do is to shift your mindset to think about what's actually possible. Right. And what's even more possible now that we've met. Right. So take a moment, write that out. If you'd like to comment, feel free to comment as well in the chat because these are the things that really slow us down in the process when we can't get our minds ready to even anticipate what we want, right? So I definitely want you to do that. So someone wrote in, I'm going to have a natural positive birth. That's beautiful. I like that as an affirmation, Karina. Very good. Very good. So take some time and do that. You don't have to finish it now, but I would challenge you to definitely do this. Why is this important? Because I actually did this during my doula training. And I promise you, almost to the detail, everything I drew out happened during my fourth birth. Every single thing. I had a water birth experience. I had two midwives present. I had my, doula present. I remember I drew out, touching my baby's head as the baby came out. And I literally have pictures of me doing that, right? So I want us to kind of recreate, Black birth, and birth period in our community with what we want. And so how do we get there? It comes down to this, who is in your village and your support system? Who is down for that vision that you've just imagined? We know you are, right? Because you're the most important piece to this puzzle. But who are the family and friends that you want to have around you? Who are the family and friends that are, maybe seasoned, maybe they're vets, maybe they've done this before that you could tap to, right? And then you also want to know, is your healthcare provider on board for this? So this is where, as a doula, I help you create and craft your birth plan. And even though it's not a, set in stone situation, it is still an extension of that visualization of the dream birth that you want. Except now you've already decided what your options are. And so it's so important to make sure that your provider is on board with that too. Okay. So oftentimes in a consultation call, I will have someone reach out. They want to hire a doula. And then as we're talking, I'm not hearing that supportive provider, tone come out. And so I often have to share ways to look into other providers or other birth settings. Okay. And then, of course, as a doula, what that means is, we're a labor support person, we're a birth professional, we're skilled and experienced in helping families, all families, right? So, VBACs, if you want a vaginal birth after a cesarean, if you're having a cesarean, if you want a natural birth, if you want no drugs, if you want the epidural, doesn't matter what type of birth you want, there is a doula specifically for you. Right. So I saw some folks dropping in holistic and natural. We have holistic and natural minded doulas too. Okay. And I definitely want to let you know we're here for you. So, how do you know if you need a doula? I want you to answer in the chat, right? And answer honestly, right? Am I truly 100% prepared for pregnancy, prepared for birth, and prepared for beyond that? It's just simple yes or no. Drop it in the chat. Okay. And you'll see here in some of these images, some of these women, they're doing just fine, right? And I tend to attract clients who are sometimes type A, maybe. They are very into controlling the details of their lives. They may be very organized. Maybe they're working. Maybe they want to work. Maybe they want to hustle. Okay. And these women need doulas too. It doesn't matter. A lot of money, doesn't matter. Like a lot of them still need it because sometimes that strong woman, which I feel like a lot of my peers see me as, needs support too. And I needed a doula. And that doula, that first time at that birth, set the tone for all of the rest. They just got better and better and better. And I got more and more prepared. So I did see some yeses. I'm very happy to hear that. And I'm also happy to see that people are honest about their no's, and you're in the right place. Right. So some of the reasons why people need a doula is because when they look at this preparation timeline, they realize, wait, I wasn't ready before the birth. I mean, before pregnancy, technically, right? So before you even get pregnant, there's some things you want to do, right? Some things you want to do in terms of tip number one is focus on getting help from a doula before you get pregnant to help you get physically fit, to help you stay accountable, to maintain a healthy weight before you conceive, so that during the pregnancy, you can continue with those healthy habits. And over the years, that's what I've done. I've helped my clients eat healthier. I teach them as much as possible about, eating certain fruits and vegetables, how to build that gut biome, and make sure I make whatever necessary referrals. So it's not just me, it's an agency. I have a team behind me who can help with these specific areas. And I've since added some additional training and advanced doula skills training to become a maternal health consultant, and address these top concerns, like the things that lead to diabetes, the high blood pressure, the dehydration, right? And to help you prepare mentally and emotionally, because pregnancy changes you, and there's lots of different tools and techniques that you may need during your pregnancy to help you even get through the birth. Okay. So doulas are not nutritionists. However, you must understand too that doulas come from a very various backgrounds. So I have doulas on my team who are massage therapists. I have doulas on my teams who are nurses. I have doulas on my team that have MPHs. So they come with different various backgrounds depending on the route they took. Okay. So this is an example of a couple of clients who started from jump with me before pregnancy to get ready, to get prepared. One is doing a surrogacy a second time with me. The other just had her baby. So we just celebrated that this week. And it was a long journey. I've known this woman for over a year, so it's pretty awesome. So let's take a moment to do some breathing here, because this is one tool that if you can learn how to do it, okay, it's going to help you out quite a bit. All right. So the breathing technique is to breathe in for 4, hold for 7, and exhale for 8. You're going to breathe in and hold for 7 and exhale for 8 out through the nose, out through the mouth. Okay. So there's supposed to be a way for me to click this and play the video. Let me see if I can figure that out for you. And the video doesn't want to play. I'm going to share it with the host so that you all can practice this inhalation and exhalation. Okay. So the next thing is during the pregnancy, right? So during the pregnancy, you should anticipate that you need to address your health. Once you know you're pregnant, address your health. Every aspect of it, get your labs, find out your previous history of your previous pregnancy if you have one, and get it together, because that will literally determine how you want to approach this. Okay. And then the other piece is um decide where you want to give birth, right? So the birth here that you'll see here is a client of mine. It has over 97,000 views on YouTube. It's an amazing birth at home. And I think I started this many, many years ago. This is like early in my years of being a doula. So some of the things I don't do anymore, like chewing gum and stuff like that. But it was an amazing birth experience, Haitian mama. And I just encourage you to watch it, right? If you want to watch a video that won't like traumatize you, watch this one, okay? And I'll share this link too. But these are other ways that I can help, you know. So in the process, we're helping mom, get into different positions, right? And so another tip for you, tip number 2, is during your pregnancy and even during the labor, exercise. Practice the exercises. Don't be lazy with it. It's so important to practice, because you want to build muscle memory in your body, right? So prenatal yoga, stretching, walking, you need to do things like that. So this is just a little clip of some of the things that we can provide during the birth and even in the postpartum period. So the clip there on May 12th, that's a recent birth, and these were the responses I got when it comes to like working with your nurse, working with the doctor. They love working with me, and so that's something that I really want to encourage you to know, that we are a part of the team. We're just as essential, and we want to support you. So, how do you book a doula? You need to find out what your insurance will cover, because if you have Medicaid, some Medicaid plans will cover doula services. Then you want to search for a doula who's actually available during your due date. 2 weeks before your due date, I'm available. 2 weeks after your due date, I'm available, because that's when I will be on call for you. Okay. If they can't answer yes, they're going to be available, they need to have a backup for you, a backup doula. Then you want to interview the doula, or in my case, I do consultations. Then you want to make a decision to move forward and work together. Now, this seems like, why did you put that as a step? Because it's important. You can't just interview somebody and then not like make a decision, right? And that's something, as I find, for pregnant mamas, it's a little challenging for them to make decisions and be decisive. But you need to decide, because I'm interviewing all the time. And so someone in your due date comes up and you didn't decide, then I'm sorry, it's kind of hard to manage that. So then when you book that doula, attend the prenatal visits, use it. Use your doula, communicate. You have access via text, you have access via phone, you have access via everything to communicate with that doula. So use your doula. Call your doula when you're in labor and birth better. Do not skip out on calling your doula. And this has happened before, unfortunately, where someone has, they think they're in labor, they don't let me know, and then how can I show up? So we need you to communicate with us. Medicaid does cover doulas depending on the plan that you have. So contact your plan and find out more. And then we also have the doula network as well that has select plans that they work with. And I also do accept Medicaid as well. Continue communicating with your doula after the birth. So after the birth, we don't just stop our relationship. We need to communicate, right? We need to talk about how breastfeeding is going. We need to talk about how you're feeling emotionally, physically, right? And any concerns that you might have. So I just wanted to remind you, tomorrow I'll be in person at my own table at Shower to Empower, and I hope to meet you there. But in the meantime, let's get connected, okay? You can visit my website. You can check me out. You can schedule a consultation, look at my services. And definitely, I look forward to hearing from all of you. So thank you for your time. And I'll let the host take it away. Any questions for me?
Oh my goodness, Esther, there's so many questions.
Okay.
There's so many questions, but what I want to do is, before Lima switches off this, I want to make sure everyone has the time to take down your information, because it's been one of the things they keep asking, how do they find you? But we want to say thank you so much, Esther, for all that you've just provided. Some of us didn't know about this, and can I tell you, let me be transparent. I was a doula. I was an active doula for a while. I'm a little seasoned girl, so don't look like it, but I'm a little older. But and I just think this information is so valid. I was actually a doula when it wasn't as popular, and unfortunately, It was the people that were more affluential that were able to afford our services. But now I am so happy and so proud to see how many doulas are coming forth to help our community. So I'm so excited. Thank you so much, Esther, again for doing this. We are so excited and we want to see you tomorrow. So everyone that has all these questions that I see on here, definitely come through. We will be at the Urban League tomorrow. That's the day after today, and that's on Friday. So don't look for us today. You're going to come in the building tomorrow at the Urban League, and she will be in-house. I do want to go ahead. I think I have time to share some of the stuff that was on here. If I could do it. I see Jenny had something to say. She said I enjoyed my last two births. They were natural, no medicine. She felt like she was well prepared, so that's good. Miss Cherie says that she loves a positive birthing environment, and that's pretty useful, right? You don't want anybody in there being negative. You get to control this. This is something that you're doing. So if you don't want somebody in your room, you don't want somebody in your room. It's just what it is. I want to say it's Nikex. Am I saying it right? Westbrook, peaceful atmosphere while pushing out her baby. Portia envisions a holistic and natural birth, but then she ended up with a C-section. And things happened. This baby was breached. So we're sorry for that, Portia, but don't worry. Listen, Esther can help you out with a VBAC. So definitely, if you're thinking about it, go for it. Chloe said she's going for the VBAC with epidural, she says.
All right.
We're not judging. We are not judging. So most of the questions that you had asked, were they prepared? A lot of people said yes. And then some people said they weren't. One of them, that's Clove again, she said, I'm ready, but I want to be more prepared. So that's just another thing that doulas are able to help you with. You did answer the question about the nutritionist for Amy. So Amy, definitely, they're not nutritionists, but they might be on board. Like she said, some nutritionists are doulas. It just happens to be, some people just wanted to say, hey, Tiffany, we see you, girl. Macker, she wants to have a natural birth and she wants a doula. So you just got Esther's number. Okay, so don't forget. Jenny says it helps your mind too when you have a doula. Good. They were wanting to know programs available to cover doulas. So definitely you spoke about Medicaid and
the National Doula Network as
the
well.
Doula Network. Thank you so much. Thank you.
The Doula Network, sorry. The Doula
Let
Network.
me ask you this, Esther. There's a question here. Can you have a doula even if you're having a C-section?
Absolutely. I was just at a C-section the other day, and why that was important is because the client's partner was like, I'm not going in there. He would literally faint if he walked into an OR room, right? So you're going to leave this mom alone? Absolutely not. I'm going to go. I'm going to make sure I'm taking care of her stuff, making sure I'm taking pictures for her, checking in, making sure she's still breathing, all of these things, and hold the baby near her face so she can do skin to skin. There's different things that we can do, and then help her with lactation right afterwards. So yeah, C-section, any mom I've had who had to have a C-section still was like, this is such a better experience because you were here. Okay.
Oh, thank you for that. And I'm seeing everybody is basically saying thank you, Esther. They're so excited that you were able to do this today. One more time, if you want to see this beautiful lady in person tomorrow, you never know what she comes with. I've seen her come before at baby showers, and she was like, you get a this and you get a that. She acted like Oprah. So you never know what you're going to get tomorrow. So again, I'm going to let you know, 560 Northwest 27th Avenue. We're right here in Fort Lauderdale at the Urban League of Broward County. We will be here. We are ready. It's going to be a whole to-do. It's basically shower part 2, except this time we're going to have some fun, y'all. So come on in and you'll be ready to meet Esther in person. And I think everybody's just saying thank you. All I see are these we appreciate you. Oh, Esther, one more time, we will definitely play your contact information. Everyone's asking for it. So if you can, go ahead and put it in the live when you get a chance.
Okay.
The ones that missed it. Okay. Thank you again, Esther. I think we're going to click you off, and Alima is going to come back on. But before Alima comes back on, let me just do a little infomercial because she's coming on to play some commercials. But remember, we talked about what the shower was about, right? We already named it Shower to Empower. So we want to make sure we empower the moms as best as we can. This is, again, your birthing experience. This is yours. This is bringing a whole new life into the world. So whatever's going to make you comfortable and whatever's going to help you, get the most out of this experience, please, please, please do so. So one of the things that we talk about, Bippy, our committee talks about, what can a parent, what can you do? What can you do to get involved? So women and their families, just remember what Esther talked about, get routine medical checkups, both before and during, and of course, after your pregnancy, right? But most important, let your voice be heard. Ask questions. Esther may not be able to make it. I know she says 2 weeks before or 2 weeks after, but let's say before that, Esther, if they have questions,
Yeah.
should feel free and open to ask to their doctors. Do you have any tips on how to communicate with your doctor if you're feeling a little shy, or maybe
Yes.
you don't know the language and you don't know what they're saying? What
Yes.
should you do, Esther?
I love it. So here's one thing you have to do. When you go into your provider, you need to write down notes of what they say to you. How
And
many?
wait, I got one better. Everybody got their cell phones. Girl, they could just press record. Ask the doctor first because I don't want nobody to get sued. But
Ask for permission. Yes, yes, because you're prego. You have prego brain. Sometimes you don't remember. And then when I ask you after your appointment what happened, you're like, oh, I can't remember. That's a problem. I want to work with mamas who want to be sure that they're not missing any details. Right? Those details become very important. Secondly, you want to make sure you are coming with a particular question and you let them know once they walk into that room so they don't rush you and so that they remember that you had a question to ask them. Write down the question so you don't forget. And, just be sure you're doing that regularly because the more you are informed, okay, the more they're going to stay on their toes. Okay, and cross their T's and dot their I's. But all the more better too. I have a client you saw in the picture. She has me going to all of her visits. So I've been this the first time I've been going to all the visits, Cassandra. But I mean, wow, all of the
That's a
visits,
lot. That's a lot. That's a
you
lot.
know,
But essentially, you are now her brain because you're going to keep the information for her. You see people in the chat saying the same thing. Prego brain is real,
I,
right? You can't. Oh,
it
there it is. Portia just said, yes, baby brain is a bummer.
is.
So I want to say it's Chinese. She says she records every doctor's appointment and pediatrician appointment.
I like
I
it.
love it. Mama's Glory says definitely need to keep track of what's happening
Yeah,
because the truth of the matter is, listen, beyond the baby brain, just average everyday stuff clutters your brain. So add on a whole person that you're making. Basically, you're baking kidneys, you're making liver, arms, bones. Can you imagine? Take
yeah,
some time. So you guys give yourself a little bit of grace, and it's okay if you can't remember. Just write it down.
yeah.
Write it down. So how about like healthcare providers? Because I know we have some on the line. Can you just so quick tidbit for healthcare providers? Because all I have is maybe talk to your patients and just encourage them a little bit more and just be patient. What do you have for providers? Because okay,
Um,
so because they're on the line as well.
okay, so for providers, as into advice to them, or
Yeah, just a healthcare provider
oh,
that's
if
on
you're
the
a
line.
healthcare provider, yeah, if you're a healthcare provider, I want you to take into account that yes, these moms may forget. So even though you are not primarily there for education, they sometimes still have that anticipation that you will educate them. So at the very least, talk to them while and before you're doing anything you're doing with them. When you're doing a check, be mindful of that. Be mindful of the trauma that some moms may have experienced, be mindful that they may have an opinion on how they want to give birth, right? And be open to seeing the birth plan. I have a current doula client, her provider, when she said, I have my birth plan ready because by 36 weeks they have it ready and they're ready to hand it off. By she's ready to hand it off to her provider. Her provider's like, I don't want to see it.
Yeah.
Why? Why not? I don't understand that, right? So it should be a cooperative kind of collaborative kind of experience, and you deserve that, right? And so as providers, when we hear and we see black women saying we're not heard, this is why. This is one of the ways that we're not heard. Hi Banyan, how you doing? Okay.
I know everybody's on here saying hi. Okay, Esther,
Hey,
I'm
Allison.
gonna take all this, girl. We're gonna take it into consideration. And now we are moving on. So again, thank you so much, Esther, for all that you do. And we will see you tomorrow.
All right, y'all.
Bye.
Bye.
All
All
right.
right, everybody, I'm back, and sorry, I am multitasking, holding it down on this end. So thanks to Cassandra, I'm going to bring her down for a second because I just want to shoot to some safety topics here. So I have a few clips that I want to play that we're going to address infant safety, safe sleep, and also give you some tips about breastfeeding from our favorite certified lactation consultant, Tawana Nottage, who is the North end of the county in Broward County's peer counselor supervisor at Broward County WIC, and she's also going to be in the house tomorrow to answer all of your lactation questions. Okay. So I am just going to share this to play this great clip. And then we'll be right back with our doctor. So let's see here. This wants to work with me the right way. And I'm going to do this. And let's go. Maybe it'll give me some. Still no sound. Can y'all hear this? Still no? All right, let me gotta love a technical difficulty. Let me just mess with this here and then see if I turn this up, will it work? Because I'm not sure what's happening today. Let's see. Let's try now. Still no? Low. Okay. We're getting there. It's telling me it's up. All right, come on, y'all. We know we love live technical difficulties. It wouldn't be us if not. So let me try one more thing. And you're probably going to see my youngest on the screen, but that's okay because we're going to see. There we go. This is low. Now we should be rocking out. Okay. Third time's a charm. Thumbs up now. Still no.
Log on to cscbroward.org to learn more and to request your look before you.
Hi, I'm Rachel Seeley, the Safe Sleep Program Manager of Broward Healthy Start Coalition. I'm really happy and excited that I can talk to you a little bit about safe sleep. Well, the easiest part and the most important part of safe sleep are the ABCs. A. A stands for alone. Your baby should always be placed to sleep alone with no blankets, pillows, stuffed animals, toys, bumper pads, or even removable clothing like hats or socks. Okay, if you're worried about your baby being cold, you can put them in a sleep sack or a onesie or a wearable blanket. Okay, we don't want any of these items getting into the baby's mouth and them being able to rebreathe in their own air, okay, through their nose. We don't want anything in the crib. Okay, A, alone. B stands for back. Your baby should always be placed to sleep on their backs for each and every sleep, including nap times. Okay, even if you know that the baby's going to roll over immediately, you always start them on their backs. And C stands for crib. Your baby should always be placed to sleep in a crib, a bassinet, or a pack and play. Sometimes it's called a portable crib, each and every time. Okay, co-sleeping is really dangerous. Sleeping with your baby is very, very dangerous. You could roll over on your baby in the middle of the night. Your baby can roll off the bed or even in between the mattress and the wall. All right, this happens. This happens 3,500 times a year in our country. And I know that it's really hard to hear, but we want to keep you and your baby safe. And the only way to do that is by practicing the ABCs. Not only do you need to practice the ABCs, but everyone who holds, touches, watches, and cares for your baby, they also need to practice the ABCs. Moms, grandmothers, aunties, uncles, cousins, babysitters, daycare centers, every single person who touches your baby needs to know that they practice safe sleep. Alone, back, crib. It's also really important that we don't smoke around our babies. This includes vaping, marijuana, and cigarettes. Not only can we not smoke around our babies, but we don't want them in an environment where other people are smoking. Okay, even if nobody is smoking around you, if you can smell cigarette smoke or marijuana smoke in the air, so can your baby. All right, that's called third hand smoke, and it's really dangerous. Okay, we want to make sure that our babies are put in the best environments possible. All right, and the last thing I want to talk about with you is breastfeeding. Breastfeeding is really good for your baby. It's easily digested. It goes right to the digestive tract. It keeps the baby nice and alert and aroused. It's really good for nutrition and health and wellness and bonding. We want to make sure that when you're breastfeeding, you're sitting up straight, the lights are on, the TV's on, you're not falling asleep. All right, we don't want you to fall asleep while breastfeeding. It can be very dangerous for you and your baby. I'm so excited and so glad once again that you were here to listen a little bit and learn a little bit about safe sleep. For more questions, you can find us online at browardhsc.org. Thanks so much. Have a great day.
Hi, everyone. My name is Tawana Nodge. I am the Week Breastfeeding Care Counselor Supervisor for the North End of the county. In your bags, you'll find this beautiful pamphlet here that talks all about breastfeeding. So I'm going to go over just some top few things that moms have concerns about with breastfeeding. The first thing is making sure that you get the proper education on breastfeeding. If you like taking the prenatal breastfeeding class, you're well on your way. Let's just talk about some basics of breastfeeding, okay? So when you get to the hospital, you already should have your birth plan in place. What you want to do is make sure that you get the right assistance while you're at the hospital. Make sure that you reach out to an IBCLC that's on staff there. An IBCLC is an International Board Certified Lactation Consultant. They are in Broward County, and we also have IBCLCs on staff at our local WIC offices. The next thing that we're going to talk about is frequency of feeding. Okay, frequency of feedings are very important in the early days. You want to make sure you're feeding your baby between 10 to 12 times per day. That's to make sure that the baby's getting adequate amount of milk. All right, and ladies, you have to keep in mind that the baby's belly is the size of a marble. It is very, very small. All right, and it's normal for them to eat off. Okay, the next thing that we're going to talk about is soreness. Soreness is not common. Okay, you're not supposed to be in pain with breastfeeding. Breastfeeding should not hurt. In the early days, you might feel a little bit uncomfortable, but if the soreness persists in your home, you need to reach out to an IBCLC at our local WIC office here in Broward County. All right, ladies, breastfeeding is going well, but do not forget to reach out to our peer counselors at your local WIC office. They're here to support you with all your breastfeeding needs and to help you continue on your breastfeeding journey. The next thing that we're going to talk about is back to work. We want to make sure that you get off to a good start. Most moms go back to work around 3 to 6 months. Make sure that you notify your employer, contact your HR department, and let them know that you do plan on breastfeeding when you return to work. If you're working an 8 hour shift, you want to make sure you at least pump 3 times while you're there. Planning with your employer is important so that they can support you on your breastfeeding journey. All right, what is your goal with breastfeeding? How long do you plan on breastfeeding for? It's recommended that you exclusively breastfeed for 6 months. That means no water, no juice, no cereal, unless otherwise directed by your pediatrician. It is recommended that you can continue to breastfeed up until 2 years. All right, ladies, I hope I was able to answer some of your frequently asked questions today. But do not forget to reach out to us at your local WIC office. The phone number there is 954-767-5110. And if you need any breastfeeding assistance or have any breastfeeding concerns, please reach out to our breastfeeding warm line at 954-467-4511. Thank you, ladies, and congratulations.
All right, we are back. Thank you so much for Tawana and Rachel Seeley, who used to be our Safe Sleep Program Manager here at Healthy Start. She always gave the great information about safe sleep, so there was no way I couldn't let the shower go by without featuring her video. All right, so next up, we are going to move on to the first year of pediatric care. And we have Dr. Mario Zambrano from Sun Life Pediatrics here. He's actually the pediatrician for my three boys, okay? So he's great. Love him, love him. And I'm going to bring him on. Sorry. All right, Dr. Z.
Hi guys, thanks Amima for inviting me. It's a pleasure to be with you all.
All right, I'm going to let you take it away.
Well, basically, the first year is very important to establish a relationship with your baby. Breastfeeding, as the young lady before me said, is very important. A lot of times parents give up very easily because it hurts and it's painful and they get discouraged. But the truth is that if you do it properly and you take your time and don't keep the baby on the breast for a long time, it won't hurt. It actually, the milk will come in even if you breastfeed for 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes at the most each side. Um, Unfortunately, first time moms oftentimes are overzealous to breastfeed and they keep the baby on for an hour and also they let the baby use them as a pacifier. That's a mistake because then you get sore, your nipples get cracked, and it hurts. So it's very important to time yourself. Um, Alternate between breasts and the excess milk that you make in between the breastfeeding. You can pump it, and that's when you offer it in a bottle. But always breastfeed first so that the milk will come in. Also, it's important to breastfeed at least 6 months, like the young lady before me said. By 4 months, 6 months, some babies we start solid, so we start depending less on the breast milk, but that's a slow process until we make sure that the baby can tolerate solids. So until that happens, usually by 6 months, a baby's eating at least 3 meals, topped off with breastfeeding and the rest breastfeedings. By 9 months, the baby's down to two feedings of milk, and the rest is solids. And then that's when you introduce water because if your body needs water. That in the first 6 months you're getting most of the water in the milk, but by 9 months, you're mostly on solids. That's the time to use water. You don't want to use water before that because all you're going to do is spend more on diapers. And water is okay to give, it's a hot day, but wait until the baby's older so that it doesn't take away from other nutrients and you don't spend as much on diapers. Um, by a year, the baby should be on table food. Uh, Things that you want to wait to offer the baby until they're a year, even though there is some school of thought that you can introduce solids that are considered allergenic before a year. Um, there's been a few papers about that. I'm still not convinced, at least in my practice, that we should introduce egg whites or peanuts before a year. Um, some experts seem to believe that if you do this early on, it decreases the chances of food allergies, but I have not seen that in my practice. I've seen actually the contrary. You introduce egg whites or nuts and peanuts or shellfish before a year of age, and usually that tends to cause food allergies. Food allergies are something that are nothing to play with because when you develop a food allergy as a child, you can carry them for a while, and you don't want to have a food allergy until you're a teenager or an adult. I do have a teenager that's allergic to milk. He can't even whiff milk, and I'm not sure why he developed this severe allergy, but I think probably because it may have been introduced before he was a year of age. Anyway, I'm here if you have any questions for me in regards to solid introduction. Again, I am not in agreement with starting allergenic foods up until a year, but you may hear different opinions about that. Alima, you want to have any? Do you have any questions in regards to the first year? I do want to talk also about, the physicals. Normally, we see the baby in the hospital when they're born. Then we see the baby at 2 or 3 days after the baby goes home. I see the baby again at 2 weeks of age to make sure they're gaining weight. We go over the feeding problems, feeding issues. We make sure that the baby's getting adequate nutrition. Normally, babies, even though the stomach is the size of their fist, they can most of this milk that they drink goes directly into the intestine. So don't be afraid to give the baby 2 or 3 ounces at a time. Normally, they sleep an hour per ounce with their feeding, but you want them to feed every 3 hours during the day. At night, once the baby's 3 or 4 weeks of age, you can start feeding them extra at the midnight feeding so they'll sleep at least till 6. And then that's the time to use the pacifier. Our body is designed to feed during the day where all the enzymes in our intestine are active. Even our body is light dependent. Our enzymes in our intestine, our skin, they are activated with sunlight or daylight. At night, everything turns off. Even our gut doesn't work very well. So our body's not designed to eat at night. So the sooner you get the baby sleeping through the night and not eating, the better for you because you'll get some rest. The mom, if you're breastfeeding 24/7, you get tired and eventually you'll stop breastfeeding and you depend on formula, which is really cow's milk. Did you know that most of these formulas are cow milk based? Infamil, Similac, Good Start, they're all cow's milk based formulas. So they were developed because not everyone can breastfeed for whatever reason, because you had an infection, because you have nipple problems, because um, uh, you have some sort of immune deficiency and you're on medication, or or you have some other chronic condition that you can't breastfeed. But normally we want to depend on the breastfeeding first, and then you start playing with the formulas if you can't breastfeed. Most babies do need vitamins, especially breastfeeding moms, because breast milk and milk in general has very few vitamins. It has some protein, the lactoalbumin, and has a little bit of vitamin D, but not enough to sustain the necessity, the requirements that the baby has. So I normally recommend vitamin D or the ABC vitamin in the first 2 or 3 weeks of age. and then we depend on that vitamin until the baby's 4 or 6 months. After that, we start introducing the B complex, which is B1, B2, B6, B12. Those are vitamins that normally we get in solids, but since the baby's not going to be eating solids efficiently until the baby's at least 9 months, we depend on the vitamin. Once the baby's a year and eating table food and whole milk and egg whites and all sorts of protein that we introduce, then you don't have to depend on the vitamin. I do recommend vitamins when they're older if your child is picky and doesn't want to eat, protein or vegetables and fruits. So that's the first year. I also wanted to reiterate the fact of co-sleeping. Co-sleeping is a big issue, especially with first-time moms. They want to cuddle with their baby, their first baby, so they want to hug them and smell them, and yes, you can give them love in that sense, but you don't want to sleep with the baby. You can be very tired and not realize that you rolled over your baby, and I've seen it happen. So I don't want that to happen to too many people. I didn't know about the numbers. 3,500 a year. Was it a year? I'm not sure. I heard that number, but that's a high number. That's more than I would expect to see. But anyway, it's still an issue. So make sure that you don't co-sleep with your baby. I like the ABCs. I learned something today. The on the back sleeping and the crib and the A. I forgot what it stands for. But anyway, that was a good. That's something very useful. The second year, we don't see much of the baby. We normally see at 15 months and 18 months, which are opportunities to vaccinate if the baby has not been caught up. And then normally I check hemoglobins because a lot of parents want to overzealous breastfeeding, and children do become anemic. Uh, and so we check hemoglobins at 9 months and 18 months. Um, After that, by 2 years, they should be caught up with vaccines. By 3 years, they should be caught up with vaccines. By four, they should have all their vaccines, which is when they start wanting to go to school and daycare, and they're required to have their full set of vaccines. Um, we often talk about safety at home with gun safety, and unfortunately, there's still you know times where guns are kept at home in not a secure place, and children can get into things like that, and you want to make sure if you do have a weapon, it has a lock. Um, uh, Very important. Pool safety. You can be watching your child all the time, but it's very, very important to have a fence around your pool. Summer is around the corner, and we see a lot of drownings still. We see drownings, which is a sad situation because sometimes they survive, but they don't survive in a form that we want to see your child. Uh, so important to keep water safety, teaching your baby to swim, which is very important. You can start as early as 2 months. Um, some babies are natural swimmers, so you'll find babies can learn how to swim very early on. But still, the more you prepare for this safety, the better for your family. I like to talk about also poison control. Poison control is a number that we should all have handy at home. It's important to remember it, 1-800-222-1222. Once the baby starts crawling and walking, they put everything in their mouth, and you want to be prepared to call poison control because they have a huge database of all the possibilities of medications, detergents um, that a child can get into. And just with a picture or even a description, they can get to the bottom of it. Even when I used to work in the ER at Homestead, which I'm gonna start again. We used to call poison control because we weren't sure what medication it could be, but if we had a description of the medication or even the, the detergent, we can tell the expert on the other side of poison control, and they would help us narrow down the possibilities. Now, Lima, that's I think I touched most of the subjects that I wanted to talk about. If there's anything else you want me to talk about, I'll gladly do so.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Z. I really appreciate it. I did see some questions in the chat, so we can get these addressed.
Yes, definitely.
So let's have from Carolina. She is asking about the portions for a baby once they start solids.
That's a good question. Normally I tell parents to measure the portions on the size of their fist. So if they're going to give a portion of meat or vegetables or fruit, it should be the size of their fist. Um, some babies are greedy, so you're going to gauge your baby. So let's say you give them a portion of vegetables and the baby still drinks 6 or 8 ounces of milk, you want to go up on the portion of solids. Try to depend more on the solids, and the more solids you eat, the less milk the child will drink. But normally that's around 6 months. 6 months, and then by 9 months you're on solids mostly, so you shouldn't have to worry about the amount of milk they're drinking. They're by 9 months they're drinking mostly water and a little bit of juice. But that was a good question. Yeah.
All right. Oh, Carolina has another one. How would the schedule be to eat once you introduce the solids to baby? So, what does the schedule look like with milk versus solids throughout the day?
Correct. Always try to give the solid first because that way you can gauge, first of all, how much the baby needs. So, again, if we give an ounce of food and the baby stays hungry and drinks 6 ounces of milk on top of that, or 8 ounces, it's time to increase the solid amount. So, stage one bottle of food is usually like an ounce, but some babies are happy with an ounce and a half or two. Again, you're gonna learn what your baby tolerates. What a
Okay,
good
let's see.
question.
Do you have any more? I can't see what this one says, but let's see. I'm taking prenatal multivitamins once the baby is born. Can I continue to take the same vitamins or should I change to another type?
No, you can continue, especially if you're gonna breastfeed. You wanna continue the multivitamins. Obviously, those are for you because once if you, especially if you're breastfeeding, you're gonna be required. That's going to take a toll on your body. So you want to supplement with the multivitamin. The vitamins that you're taking are not going to help the baby as much. So you're going to have to give the baby's his own vitamins, their own vitamins. That's a good question.
Okay, sorry, I'm multitasking, y'all. Let's see. So, do we have any other questions for Dr. Z while he's on? And just quickly, and I really do appreciate you, Dr. Zambrano, for doing this. I know that you are in the middle of running your pediatric care.
No, I,
So, we're very grateful to you.
yes, I appreciate
Um,
the opportunity to
my last question,
learn
and
more.
if you could just touch on it briefly, is just can you tell the expecting moms and parents and families on here what are the milestones for the vaccines for the first year? Like, what vaccines would they visit? Like, the 2 month visit, 4 months, 6, 9. Can you just touch on those briefly?
Basically, normally in the first 6 years of life, they get 5 DTPs, they get 4 polios, 4 Hibs, Haemophilus influenza vaccine, which is not the flu. It's Haemophilus influenza bacteria can cause pneumonias and ear infection, meningitis. Pneumococcal is another vaccine that we give, and it's a series of 4, and we give that one in the first 6 years as well. Um, uh, Hepatitis B we give in the first year 3. We give also rotavirus in the first year. Rotavirus is a virus that can cause gastroenteritis and dehydration in infants. Since we're vaccinating with this vaccine, which is oral by the way, We I don't see rotavirus much anymore, but those are vaccines that are available. So the first year they get the brunt of the vaccines. At 2, 4, and 6 months they get their first DTP, first polio, first HIV, first Prevnar. Normally, if you were to go to the health department, they'll if you need vaccine, you don't have insurance or you go because you want the health department to give it, they'll give you 5 or 6 vaccines if you need them. But nowadays, I see parents refusing vaccines, so I try to limit the number of vaccines I give on a visit. So I try to give at least 3 vaccines at a time. That way, they don't fall behind and the parents are happy.
All right, that was great. I'm going to check the chat again to see. Um, one more thing they said says baby led weaning info. Do you have any info on weaning? And
On
I would assume she's talking about breastfeeding. Jeannie, are you
breastfeeding,
saying how to wean a
normally
baby from breastfeeding?
correct. Normally, if you start the solids on time, again, the American Academy recommends 6 months, but I think that's too broad. Some babies require solids sooner. So if the baby has good neck control and the baby's hungry and drinking 36 ounces of milk a day, it's time to introduce the solids. So little by little, you substitute the breastfeeding or the milk intake with solids, and you start off with the cereals for breakfast, then you keep adding, then you add the veggies for lunch, and then lunch and dinner, then you add the meats third, and then try to leave the fruits and the juices last, because we all like sweet stuff. If you give the sweet stuff first, what happens is that you give them the savory foods and they spit it out, they make faces, they dislike the taste because all they know is the taste of milk, which is kind of sweet. And most parents, and especially young parents, they assume that they don't like the food and they stop it. But it's important to keep trying. You want to teach them to eat all sorts of foods now that they're babies and young, not when they're older, because it's harder to introduce these foods when they're older. And I'm seeing a lot of kids that don't eat vegetables and fruits as of late.
Okay, and at what age should I start giving vitamins to the baby?
Yes, by 2 or 3 weeks, I start them on the trivisol, which is the A, B, and C that they require a lot of. By 4 or 6 months, we start them on the polyvisol, which has the A, B, and C, and the B complex that's vitamins, which they require because they're getting older, they're getting bigger, they need food. But since they're not eating solids as much, we depend on the vitamins.
Okay. All right, Dr. Z. Well, again, thank you so much. You want to tell them um, how to find you? Sun Life Pediatric, Pembroke Pines. Um, I think the address is 105.7.
Yeah, we
Is
have
that right?
two addresses. You can find us on our website. It's sunlifepediatricnetwork.com, and you can even make appointment online if you care. But we're here in Pembroke Pines and Plantation area.
All right. Well, there you have it. So again, Dr. Z, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy, busy day to do this for us. I know
Thank you.
everybody was very happy and you had some great information that you were able to share.
Right.
Um, keep in mind again, folks, if you want to find them, Sun Life Pediatrics, he has 2 offices, one in Plantation and one in Pembroke Pines, or also visit that website at Sun Life Pediatric. Is it .com or .org?
Sunlifepediatricnetwork.com.
sunlightpediatricnetwork.com. All right, thanks so much, Dr. Z, and I will be seeing you soon.
Take care,
Thank
Emily.
you. Have a good one.
Hugs. Take care.
All right. So we are rolling. I know we were like a little off schedule, and this may run just a little bit longer than we intended at 12, but that's all good. We do have Tashia Richards coming up next, but I'm going to bring Cassandra back on here because I love a little curveball. And I know that I said that all the raffles were going to happen live from
You
11
did.
to 12, but
You did.
I got
Look,
something right here. They got
But
books
in
on it.
true Oprah form, this is what we do. We surprise the people because
That's right.
you get a prize, you get a prize, and you get a prize. So we got the prizes, and that's the prize lady. So what are we gonna do, Alima? We're gonna give them something.
Yeah, I have 4 gift cards. They are both given through donations by 2 great organizations and companies that basically look out for us every year,
Nice.
which is Publix. And I know some families can use these. I have 3 small boys, and when I tell you, I know that grocery prices are increasing. So this could help a lot. And also, big shout out to Olive Garden. I have here, I believe this is a $60 gift card, so you can go out and have. Yep, it is $60. So you can go out with your family, or your
That's for
loved
what?
one,
Like
or your
four
big.
people, 3 people. You can take the whole family out, Alima.
I'm saying soup and salad. You
I
know, I
love
used to
it.
work for Olive Garden for many years, and they're so gracious for the last few years to donate a gift card. So what I'm going to do, oh, she said, we all, no, Amy, we all don't get a prize. However, you all will get a great gift bag just for watching and coming out to the Urban League of Broward
Tomorrow.
County tomorrow from 10:30 to 12:30 to meet some of our fabulous vendors, sponsors, and to see what they have to offer and collect all the goodies. And you're also going to get a really, really cool tote bag where you'll be able to put all your goodies inside. And they also already have stuff inside of it before you even get inside of the building to see everyone. So as of now, and then we're going to do raffles live from 11 to 12 tomorrow. And I mean, because then we have
We
car
don't tell
seats,
them. Don't tell them.
strollers,
Don't tell them
pack and
what it
play,
is.
breast pumps,
It's like walking into a Target is what we got
bye
going.
bye baby.
Bye bye,
Yeah,
baby. Okay,
yeah,
we
well,
have so many things for you
so
guys.
many
We are
things.
super, super excited. So you got to come in for it, though. You got to come through. Come check the people out. Come see us. We want to see you. We missed you guys.
We want to see you. We want to miss you. So I'm going to try to be as fair as possible, and I'm going to pull up a little Google spin wheel on the side, a little number wheel.
With a
Okay, and
number,
I'm going to give you a keyword. I'm not going to tell you right now because I want to get a chance to pull up my generator here. Um, but I'm going to give you a keyword. You're going to type that keyword in the chat, and then we're going to count to see where it lands. And then I know that Cassandra has some amazing staff over there, our Shower to Empower helpers, who
we
will be putting the
do.
name down. I'm going to put the name across. So, Cassandra, what I just need for you all to do is when I throw the name across the screen, let me take Dr. Z's information down. When I throw the name across the screen of the winner, um, then we can write those down because I'm multitasking here. Okay. I figure I
Perfect.
throw in
My
a little
team is
curveball that we're
ready.
going to
I
bring
have
into you.
Deborah there. I have Tara. I have Candace. Everybody is in the house. They're ready to write it down for us. So we're good.
Okay. So I'm going to do Olive Garden first. So this is again a $60 gift card donation from Olive Garden Italian Kitchen. So if the first person that I can see in the chat that writes salad, SALAD, salad in the chat, first name that I see will get this $60 gift card. So I'm looking for salad in the chat. And remember, sometimes there is a bit of a delay. So what you may see first may not be what I see. Um, so
Ooh,
let's go here. And then look, see, did you see that jump like that? Here we
ooh,
go. Hold
ooh, ooh.
on.
Alima, does spelling count? Because Miss Jadine just wrote sale. Now, Miss
I
Jadine, I don't
spelling,
know if you were thinking about the sale because there are sales coming up for Memorial
it's a
Weekend,
great
or did
stuff,
you
but
mean
I
that?
have Czar Stewart for salad. So Czar Stewart is the winner for this Olive Garden gift card. Did we write down that note for Czar
Say the
Stewart?
name again. I'm sorry, Doris.
Czar Stewart. Can you see it across the screen? I think I put it at the bottom.
I
Czar
see.
Stewart, ZARAH
Okay.
STEWART. Zara, please make sure that you come to the Urban League of Broward County tomorrow between 10:30 and 12:30 p.m. to pick up your gift card as well as your participation goodie bag. And of course, to meet the vendors and meet us and come have a good time. Okay. So that's that. I'm going to put this here. All right. So next up. So now I'm going to have to use the wheel because this is three $50 Publix gift cards. So three $50 gift cards. And I'm going to put this here. So in the chat, let me cue it back up. And somebody wrote in there, I saw say, Is there any stipulation to how many you can win? We are trying to be gracious to bless everybody that we can. So if you do win a prize today, or if tomorrow you win a prize, that prize that you won is your prize and you can't enter to win something else. So if you want to try to win these Publix gift cards or a Publix gift card, you can try to enter the raffle right now. If you don't win and then you want to enter a raffle tomorrow, then you will be able to enter that raffle. Okay. I hope I said it to a way to make sense. But here we go. So I started the wheel over to 1 through 10. If you want to write, let's see, we'll do the first one to say Publix. Write Publix in the chat. First person I see, or not the first person, but I'm going to spin the wheel and it's going to count down. So put Publix in the chat. I'm going to spin this lucky wheel. It's going to tell me what number to stop on, and then I'm going to count down to find that number. So Publix in the chat. This stopped on number, oh, it's spinning. Here we go. It's going to make me count. Number 8. Cassandra, can you see it on your end? Can you count down to 8, or you can't see what I see?
I sure can. I can count down to 8. So just to let the public know, because I don't want no problems, I'm starting with number 1. I had Miyu. Okay? So you're 1.
Okay, I see that.
2. Carolina would be 3. Nancy is 4. Al would be 5. Only 1. Keisha, 6. Kamar, 7. Tia, 8. Tia Nelson. Is that 8? You said
that's 8, yes.
Tia would be your winner. Tia Nelson.
Bam, Tia Nelson. So we're writing that down. Tia Nelson, $50 gift card for Publix. I'm trying to just have some little backup plan here, but of course I don't have any pens that work on my desk, but we're live, so we're rocking out.
I got
so
you.
Tia Nelson, okay.
Tia's getting $50 Publix gift card, but guess what, Tia? You got to be in a place to come pick it up, sis. So we want to make sure you show up to Urban League tomorrow. We got your
tomorrow
stuff.
To come get these goods, okay? And I will put the address on. So we're gonna 2 more Publix gift cards. So what's Cassandra? Throw me out a word that they can type in the chat.
Ooh, I like the word baby.
BABY. Let's see it in the chat for this $50 Publix gift card. Y'all type baby. I'm going to spin, and then Cassandra's going to count down so we can see who's going to be our winner. Looking for baby in the chat. BABY. Baby in the chat. BABY. And we're spinning, spin. That was off a movie. Can't think of it right now, but we're going to go with it. All right, Cassandra, this is 4.
Ooh, lucky number 4. I feel like Vanna Black. Lucky number 4. All right, we're going to start off
Tell me
with...
who it is. All right, who do we have? Number 4.
Word is baby, all right? So, not baby, but it's baby. So, we're going to start with Brianna. Wait, nope, I'm lying to you because people are still writing Publix. Hold on now.
That's
Miss
right.
Sasha, Miss Queen, you wrote baby number 1. Sasha, baby number 2. Clove, baby number 3. Miyu, wrong thing, baby. You put Publix. So Brianna Dior.
Brianna Dior
is number 4.
Brianna Dior.
We saw you. Brianna tomorrow, okay? Urban League of Broward County, 560 Northwest 27th Avenue in Fort Lauderdale.
All right, so we have one more $50 Publix gift card. And don't worry, I am going to put the address up here. So I'm trying to make it a little bit hard, make sure everybody got to type in the same thing. I think this is something that everybody goes to Publix for. It's reliable, it's quick, especially if you are last minute and don't have time to cook up something. You can grab some Publix chicken, right? So go on and write chicken in the chat. I think I'm going to try to hit it one time for you. CHICKEN.
I'm picking the next word. The next word is going to be water. That's my favorite word. Water. Drink it.
You're gonna pick tomorrow we'll have the raffle tickets, but we're just gonna put chicken today.
Chicken.
I'm looking for chicken. We're gonna do a spin. Cassandra's gonna count down, and that's gonna be our last surprise gift card. And we're gonna shoot over to Chishia, and then we'll have a word from our sponsors. So have grilled chicken, rotisserie chicken, all kind of chicken. Number 6.
Chicken, so you guys. Chicken, not water. Chicken.
See, you confusing the folks now.
I said tomorrow.
Go to the top. We're looking for number 6 for Lucky Chicken. Let's see.
Number
And shout out
six.
to Jackie Rodriguez watching this on YouTube. Thank you so much. I'm trying to expand our virtual capabilities to give you more options. All right,
Oh,
Cassandra, who do we have for chicken?
you're saying chicken, and we're saying number six, right?
Yes, that's what we're looking
So
for.
lucky number six. All right,
Mhm.
chicken. Okay, I'm gonna need Healthy Start not to count, but they did
I'm
write
not on
chicken.
YouTube. So I don't know.
So I'm gonna go ahead and kick that one out. Healthy Start can't count. The
Oh
next person.
Lord.
Oh, Sharice wrote subs. Wrong meal. Okay, so we'll start with Rolanda. Rolanda wrote chicken. She's one.
So one.
Rebecca is two with chicken. Clovis three with chicken. Brittany is four with chicken. Brittany is four with five with chicken. Jackie six with chicken. Sasha
Wait, we
seven with
number
chicken.
six. Is Jackie six?
Jackie Rodriguez is number six with
Look at that,
chicken.
Jackie. Watching on YouTube. I just shouted you out because I saw the little icon on YouTube. Well, Jackie, you found another way to watch, and now you have a $50 Publix gift card.
Whoop, whoop.
Right. All right. Trust and believe there's so much more to win. I'm going to throw the address on the screen really quick. Cassandra, please verify and make sure that's right. Urban League of Broward County,
That is
560
correct.
Northwest 27th Avenue, Fort Lauderdale, Florida 33311. Friday, May 20th from 10:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Please come. Raffles, the live raffles. If you did not win anything today, the live raffles will be held tomorrow from 11 to 12. So please come get your goodies. Meet our vendors that we have to come out. They have a lot of great things to give away and information to give you. So make sure you show up at this address. All right. So the next one I'm going to bring on is Tashia Richards. She is going to touch base on postpartum health and recovery. She is our final presentation for today. And then stay tuned because we want to give you that information again on how to find us tomorrow. And also just a word from our sponsors because, again, we are so grateful for them to be able to get you all these great, amazing things. They are a support system when we do these showers. So I want you to be able to hear a word from them and then we'll close out. So, Cassandra, we'll see you in a bit.
Okay. Yay, Tashia.
And I'm going to go on and bring up Tashia. Hi, Tashia. How are you?
I'm good, Alima. How are you? Can you hear me
I
okay?
am rocking out. We are doing what we can do, how we can do it. So I'm going
Perfect.
and tell them a little bit about yourself. I'm going to prepare your slides and we'll get right to it.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Tashia Richards, and I am a nurse as well as a labor doula and a childbirth educator. Some of you may know me from the Parent Connection, Healthier at Home, that I host for you all. So I am excited to be here to talk about the postpartum. And so for those of you that know, you know that I talk about that postpartum plan and try to get you guys ready. So we're going to talk more about that today.
All right. So I'm trying to blink. There we go. All right, Tashia, I'm going to go off and it's on you. Just let me know what to do.
Okay. All right, you guys. All right. So first, we're going to talk about the physical changes. All righty. So we just had baby. And I want you guys to just be able to understand that your uterus was expanded at least 11 times or has grown 11 times its weight, right? So it's going to take time for that uterus to go back down to size. So as you can see here, for it to go back down to pre-pregnancy, it's going to take a couple of weeks, okay, to return to its regular size. And during that time, you're going to have what they call afterbirth pains, and you're going to feel the cramping, just kind of like how you felt the cramping during delivery, right? So that's normal, something that you don't be afraid of. Just understand that there's ways that we can combat that in pain management, but recognize that that's something that is normal. Okay. Your bladder. I want to talk about your bladder for a minute. So just the same way that you were able to, that you needed to empty your bladder during labor and delivery to help through that process, is the same way that you're going to continue to keep that bladder empty afterwards. And that's very important because it's going to decrease that pain and it's going to leave room for your uterus to be able to shrink back down to size. Okay. For those of you that may have C-sections, you want to make sure you will end up having a catheter, and that catheter will be in place so that way your bladder can continue to be emptied while you rest and recover during the first couple of hours after your C-section. Then the next thing that we want to talk about is the bowel movements, right? So we're going to need to poop, all right? Sometimes we are constipated when things happen during pregnancy, and then afterwards things get a little bit sluggish during that postpartum period. So it may take 2 or 3 days for you to have that first bowel movement. One thing that I do want to share with you all is not to be afraid, okay? So when you do feel the urge to to have that first bowel movement, please do so, because constipation is just going to cause you so much more pain. All right. How do we get those bowels moving again? Drinking lots of water. You should be drinking at least 6 to 8 glasses of water. All righty. Making sure that you are eating fiber rich foods. That's going to be very important as well to get your bowels moving. moving. And then also movement. Movement is going to be very important. Okay. So even though you want to take your time, please, but then also know that you're going to have to continue to move to get those bowels active again. Okay. Hemorrhoids. Some women suffer from hemorrhoids. It's just some of them, one of the things that happen. Okay. You can use witch hazel pads to soothe you during that process. Definitely want to make sure that you're eating healthy and avoid straining. Straining is something that you do not want to do. Doctors may prescribe you stool softeners, so that way it is an easy process when that time does come. Okay. Taking care of your peritoneum is important, which is that space in between the vagina and the anus. Okay. Sometimes it's cut, which is called an episiotomy. So you understand that you will be stitched back if that does happen, or if you do tear, you will be stitched back. Those stitches will dissolve. But you also want to make sure that you keep your legs closed, you watch your movement, and that you do not insert anything into your vagina down there because of risk of infection. Okay, so we want to make sure that we're taking care of that area down there too. All righty, go to the next slide. So let's talk about this vaginal discharge, which is called our lochia. So during the first couple of days, that's the first stage of the lochia, you can expect it to be dark. It can be bright red. All right. And it lasts for 3 to 4 days. All righty. The flow is a little bit heavier, just kind of like your menstrual cycle. When you start out with your menstrual cycle, it's a little bit heavier. And then as time goes on. So when we go to the second stage of that lochia, it turns a little pink to a little bit of brownish. And that goes from anywhere from about 4 to 12 days. And then it gets lighter as you get from those 12 days on, looking more like a yellowish, whitish discharge. Okay. This is the progression that you will see during your postpartum time. So as you are preparing for postpartum, you want to make sure that you have your pads. Get pads, ladies. Okay. And no tampons, because we're not inserting anything into the vagina because of risk of infection. Okay. Making sure that you're changing your pads every time that you use the bathroom. Do not sit in your wet pad. All right. We don't want that. We want to make sure that we're watching our bleeding and we understand what it is. Do we change one or more pad within an hour? Is our bleeding heavy and soaking, when it comes to that 12th day? Those are things that we should be paying attention to. Okay. Next slide. All right, let's talk about managing the pain, because the pain is real after delivery. All right, whether you had a vaginal birth or whether you had a C-section, that pain is real. So like I spoke about the after pains, where that uterus is shrinking back down to size. You can use warm compresses there if you would like to, but also your doctor can prescribe you any type of medications. Ibuprofen is something that's really good. You have the Tylenol, and then for those that have extreme pain, you may need something a little bit stronger, like a Percocet. Your C-section is healing, right? So for those that are having C-sections, it is a major surgery. So when you come off of whatever pain meds or that spinal and you come to and you start moving, that pain is going to be real. But recognize if you are emptying your bladder, you're moving slowly, and then you are managing that pain with whatever medications, it's going to be an easier process for you. Okay. And then constipation. Try not to get constipated because it's going to increase that pain. Okay. So you want to make sure that once your bowels and you are stimulated to move your bowels, do so, because that can increase that pain. Okay, so drinking a lot of liquids, moving. If you have to, and your doctor prescribes you a laxative, take it. So then that way you can get those bowels moving to decrease that pain. Okay, next. Alrighty, so I just wanted to go into something just a little bit more in depth when it comes to cesarean births. So for those who end up having a C-section, some things that may happen are gas pains. All right, gas pains are something that is normal. It can be treated. You can drink warm teas, movement. They may even prescribe you something for gas relief. All right, swelling. Sometimes swellings do happen, whether it's swelling in the abdomen or in your legs, but you want to make sure that you watch that swelling and that you are moving and that you talk to your doctor, your provider about it, because that's really important to bring up. Nausea. After surgery, some women get nauseated. So you want to make sure that you take your time in advancing your diet. Don't come right out the OR telling your nurse or your doctor, I need some food. No, take it easy. You want to start with ice chips, start with sipping some water and sipping some juices. All right. Don't go straight into that, because then if you take in the wrong thing and your bowels are not or haven't rested after the surgery, then you can throw it up and it's going to cause more issues, more pain in your incision, and you don't want that. So take your time as you're progressing your diet. And then, of course, the incision pains. That's going to be normal, but also make sure you recognize if you have any high fevers, trouble breathing, if you have any drainage. They should be looking at your incision daily while you're in the hospital just to make sure there isn't any drainage or it hasn't been open. Okay. And then excessive vaginal bleeding, making sure that you're having communications with your doctor about what you're feeling and how you're feeling. Okay. Next. So let's talk about other complications. I want you all to be aware of things that can potentially happen, such as a postpartum hemorrhage, okay, which is bleeding. Some bleeding that we spoke about is normal, but when we talk about postpartum hemorrhage, it can happen anytime between the 12 weeks, within 12 weeks after delivery, okay? That is where you are consistently bleeding and there hasn't been a stop. You're consistently trickling, or all of a sudden you feel a big gush of blood and it's continuing to go on. Now, do recognize the difference. If you are sitting, if you're going from laying to sitting to standing, you will have a gush of blood because there is blood pooling within the vagina. That's why movement is good, so you can constantly keep moving. But if there's a consistent stream of blood, then that is a problem. If you are soaking more than one pad within an hour, that is an issue. You need to call your doctor immediately. If you're feeling faint, lightheaded, dizzy, your blood pressure is low, that is an issue. You need to contact or say something immediately. All right, call 911. Blurred vision is an issue. All righty, so you want to make sure that you pay attention to those signs, because it can even happen after you leave the hospital. So your bleeding may be fine and well controlled while you're in the hospital, but then when you get home, something changes. All right, so pay attention to those. Blood clots, deep vein thrombosis, DVTs. All right, they're rare, but they can happen. That's why movement is important. That's why for those moms that have C-sections, they put those SCDs on your legs, those little leg straps that pump your legs, because they want to avoid any blood clots. So if you have any pain or swelling in your legs, if when you flex back your leg like this, your foot, and you feel pain in the back of your leg, that is an issue. You want to contact your healthcare provider immediately, or say something while you're in the hospital. If you have difficulty speaking, any arm weakness to one side, those are things that you need to make sure that you contact your care provider or call 911 immediately. And then postpartum preeclampsia. So some women, unfortunately, during delivery or even during pregnancy, struggle with their blood pressure. And when labor kicks in, their blood pressures just spike for whatever reason. So you want to make sure, if you are a mom that ended up having to, when you go through the process and your blood pressure spikes and they either put you on some sort of medication or anything like that, you want to make sure that you're paying attention to your blood pressures. Okay. So even after your postpartum, when you go for your postpartum visit, you should be going earlier than 6 weeks just for a blood pressure check. You should have a blood pressure check or blood pressure monitor at home, especially if you struggle with blood pressure during your pregnancy, because that is something that you want to make sure that you're consistently checking. Okay, because blood pressure can be a silent killer. Because all of a sudden it can just hit you. All right, any headaches, consistent headaches that do not go away with any medication management, any blurred vision. Okay, vision changes to light sensitivity, any sudden swelling in your hands or your face, you need to call 911 immediately. Okay, so these are the things that I want you guys to be able to pay attention to as your body is changing and shifting after delivery. Next. All right, let's talk about self-care. All right, self-care. So the postpartum plan. So Esther talked to you guys about your birth plan, which is so very important, right? But I'm going to just stress that postpartum plan, that postpartum support plan. Who are your people that are going to be there for you after you deliver the baby? Okay. For my moms that have C-sections, you just went through a major surgery. Who's going to be there for you and your partner, helping you with baby? And I'm not saying that you are there to entertain these people or for people just to come and be like, look at baby and then go home. I'm talking about who's going to come and help you with the other children. For those of you that have other children, who's going to pick them up? Because remember, my C-section moms, you should not be driving. You should not be picking up anything heavy, anything like that. Even for my vaginal birth moms, definitely want to make sure that you get your rest that you need to help that uterus to go back down. So who's going to be there cooking, cleaning, helping you take care of the other children? Those are the people that you have to put into place, so that way they know their roles. You have mom, you have your mother-in-law, all right? Spread them out. So week 1 is your mom. Week 2 is your mother-in-law. Week 3, your sister. Week 4, your sister-in-law. Whoever it is that's going to be like, hey, I want to come and help you. This is what I can do for you. That's perfect. And don't be afraid to ask for help, because you can't do everything yourself. All right. For all my partners out there, did you arrange taking time off from work? Can you arrange taking time off from work? What does that look like? Because mom is going to need your help. She's going to need your support during this time. All righty. Rest and sleep. Rest and sleep is so very important. I tell all my moms, you should be eating, sleeping, and breastfeeding. That's it. Okay. During your recovery, eating, sleeping, and breastfeeding the best way that you can. All right, because we have to be able to recharge so that way we can continue to pour into our little ones. All right, another thing that will happen. So during pregnancy, sometimes the skin changes. So after delivery, your skin is changing again. The stretch marks could be fading. That dark line that went down your tummy is starting to fade. For those that had like acne, your skin is changing. So just keep up with your daily skin regimens and understand that your body is shifting again. Hair loss. It is a thing. Postpartum alopecia. Okay. Sometimes it happens a few weeks after giving birth, and you'll find that you're combing your hair. You're losing just a little bit more than normal, right? It happens. It's normal. Don't freak out completely. Okay. Understand that it should, between 6 to 15 months ish, it should go back to normal and you shouldn't be losing. If it lasts anything longer than that, then remember to contact your healthcare provider. All righty. And then your menstrual cycle. It can come back anywhere between 7 to 9 weeks, all right, after delivery, or it can take longer. Some people don't see their period till maybe a year out, right? It really depends on how your body is working. But one thing that I will say, 2 things. Do not use breastfeeding as birth control. So if you're breastfeeding and you're not seeing your period and you're like, oh, no, it's not true. You're still ovulating. Protect yourself. And number 2, remember that you're still ovulating even if you're not seeing your cycle. All right. And then sex. 6 weeks, guys. Give your body time to rest, especially if you have a tear, if you had a C-section, if you had an episiotomy. That vagina needs time to relax and to get things back in order, so that way you can enjoy each other again in that motion. Alrighty, get the clearance from the doctor that you need in order to take part, because you don't want any infections and you don't want anything to open back up on you. So take the time that you need. Alrighty. Next, let's talk about these emotions. Alrighty. So baby blues. Baby blues is normal. All right. That's where we are looking at things and we're like, man, what's happening? We're either overly excited, sometimes we're tired, sometimes we're anxious, sometimes we're sad, sometimes we're irritable. That happens. All right. It can start in the first few days after delivery. It's completely normal. You don't want to stay in that space for too long. So definitely make sure that you don't skimp out on your sleep. All right. And you go outside, go for a walk, get some sunlight, get moving, listen to music, slowly start doing the things that brought you joy before, taking time for you and your partner. Okay. So while your mom or your mother-in-law is in town, take time for you guys to be able to have deep conversations and remembering what brought you guys together. Okay. Taking that time for each other. um, Postpartum depression and anxiety, that's something that happens and that continues on longer than a few weeks. So you may have experienced baby blues, but then it's just kind of like you're consistently tired, you are consistently irritable, you're consistently like I am just consistently anxious, I'm consistently restless or sad all the time. That is something that you want to make sure that you reach out to your care provider immediately when you start noticing that pattern and talking to somebody about that. Okay. And then you have postpartum OCD, where you are like overly worried, overly anxious, continuing to like watch the baby, continuing to like wash your hands too much, and just having to have things, just having that OCD, that obsessive compulsiveness. That's something that you also want to be able to reach out to. And then, of course, psychosis. This is the scary part. This is where we have hallucinations, where you're hearing things, seeing things that other people are not, and it's real. Some women have had these issues after delivery, after having a baby. Reach out, get help, and don't be afraid to ask for help. Okay, being able to talk about your emotions is important to before it can get to this point. And for all my partners on the line, don't shy away and don't stop mom from expressing herself. Be there, be an open ear, and then vice versa. Because dads and partners, you have with the paternal perinatal depression. They can lose weight. They can feel sad. They can feel frustrated and anxious all the time. So you guys need to be able to work together to help each other come over that. But I will say for all my partners out there, planning is important. So take a fatherhood class, take the childbirth class, with mom, be involved, surround yourself with other partners that have babies coming in or that have babies already. So that way that you can prepare yourself and then also get your rest too. Okay. That is very, very, very important. Sleep and the way you eat is important. Okay, guys. So just keep that in mind. And I think that is it. Next, does anybody have any questions? I don't know if we see any questions in the chat. Oh, some people lost hair. Well, thank you all. It was a pleasure for me sharing this information with you, and I do hope that it was very helpful for you as you guys are transitioning out of delivery into bringing home your babies.
Well, Tashia, thank you so much for doing this. Now, I don't know if you saw, as I know you were presenting, but you have been getting a lot of praise. For anyone who doesn't know, Tashia also hosts our Parent Connection. It's a 10-week group series welcoming expectant women and parents and families with children up to age 1. uh, and fathers and grandparents, or basically anybody who's going to be providing you that support and some of those support factors that she was discussing, come to this group. And each week there's a particular topic that she addresses, and then they have a open discussion. So I think we have quite a few of the families on that have participated in that, and they have just been saying how much they love you and that you're the best. Oh, Mimi said you was her nurse when she gave birth. She's also a registered nurse at Broward Health Medical Center. So Tashia is like one of our faves, and she's always so helpful. So I just want to get some of that up there because somebody else wrote, Nicole, thank you for all the information. Tashia, just what she needed to hear.
We all need those reminders. We all need those reminders.
Portia says she just started your class. You're awesome. So
Yay.
a lot of people love you. We love you here at BHSC, and I'm just so grateful to have
Yes.
you and grateful for the information that you were able to share. You may have mentioned this, but how long after birth is preeclampsia possible?
Up to 12 weeks, actually. They're seeing that. They're seeing that up to 12 weeks. So you can go home, and I think the biggest issue is, and what we're seeing is that's why I made mention for any moms that had, so let's for instance, if you had to get on magnesium after delivery, right? Because your blood pressures, you need to stabilize those blood pressures. Your postpartum appointment is so important, and it's not 6 weeks. You need to be back into your OB office at least a week later to check your blood pressures. And if you get prescribed any type of blood pressure medication, you need to make sure you're taking it. So it can happen. It can happen at least up to 12 weeks after.
All right, let's see. What else do we have? And I just want to make sure this doesn't. There we go. Let's pause. Yeah. Okay. So let's see. Carolina also said for sure her with the hair loss. Does anybody else have any questions in the chat for Tashia? How long will it take to see your period when you're breastfeeding?
So some women don't see it for like after a year that they're breastfeeding. But don't get confused, ladies. Do not think that you're not ovulating. Okay, don't do it. Use for protection.
Baby, don't do it. No.
Don't do it. Enjoy not having the physical bleeding, but protect yourself.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
And I believe they discussed the contraceptives when you go back for your 6 weeks postpartum checkup or 4 to 6 week postpartum checkup. If they don't mention it, then you mention it. Ask them what do they suggest, or you can discuss with your OB provider what you feel comfortable with taking to be able to protect yourself. But as Tashia said, don't trust it. Every mom is different, and every experience is different.
That's right. And make sure you ask your provider what it is you need to do, because you may not be able to get it at the 6 weeks, depending on what you're getting. You may have to start your period, or however the contraceptive needs to work, or to use it. You need to talk about the process of you going back to actually get it.
All right, so let's see. I'm scanning because I know there was like a lot of quick chatting going on in here, so I'm trying to make sure I didn't miss any questions. Unfortunately, I think that she said she won't be able to stop by tomorrow, but she's there in spirit.
Yeah, sorry guys.
But again, if you are interested in the 10-week session, I think this past Tuesday was week 1, which is the getting to know you. Yes. Feel free to still jump in and join, even if the topic that is set for that week is maybe something that you have already passed. Again, like I said, there's open discussion. We have moms who continuously join. This is our third series. Is this 3 or 4?
Yeah.
Series 3, right?
3. Yeah, 3.
Where moms come back because they just enjoy the dynamic and the conversation and just those group sessions. So if you're interested in registering for those, you can go to browardhsc.org, which is our website. Again, that's browardhsc.org. And on the front running pages, you will see a parent connection group where you can join those classes and register so you can get those weekly reminders to sign on, log in via Zoom. Also, there's a parent connection group through the Broward Healthy Start Coalition Facebook page. You can join that to continue those chatting with those other families that you've met and or ask questions for Tashia, or just share posts that you think are would be beneficial for other families to know about.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely.
Tashia. Well, if that's it, thank you so much. Oh, wait. One more drop. There always sneaks in. What contraceptive should not be used? Is there any particular contraceptive that should not be used?
So I'll phrase that in a way of with breastfeeding. So there are some contraceptives that can combat with the breastfeeding. So you want to make sure that you talk to your healthcare provider about that. So you don't want to take anything that will dry up your milk. So that's one thing that I will say. But definitely do your research and then talk to your doctor about every option that is out there.
All right. Well, again, Tashia, thank you so
You're
much.
welcome.
Again,
Thank
Tashia does
you.
many things. So hopefully you'll be able to catch her soon. But I'm really grateful and appreciative for you doing this for us today.
Thank you,
There will be
Alima, for
nothing
having me.
furthermore. We'll see you next time around. All right.
All right. Bye.
Bye. All right, you all. I know we ran a little bit over, but we are wrapping this up. So what I want to do again is just send a shout out to our sponsors and just play some quick clip from a word from our sponsors. And Jen, again, just want to highlight Banyan Health System, Simply Healthcare. We have Florida Kid Care, Sunshine Health, Memorial Healthcare Systems, Community Care Plan, Humana, Cleveland Clinic, and Children's Services Council of Broward County. So I just want to shoot to this quick video clip, and then Cassandra will be back for our closing. And again, we'll share that information on how you can come pick up your goodie bag items and also to participate in those live raffles that are going to happen tomorrow at the Urban League of Broward County. All right, so I'm going to shoot this here one more time. Let's see if you want to be nice. We don't want to see that. Down, down. It acts like it's up, but then it just gives me a little whirl here. So there we go. And let's try this sound thing again before we start, just because it gave me some trouble. I want to make sure you can hear it. So let me know. Probably not. Hold on. It sounds low to me. So it may sound low to you. Can you hear that? Let's try sound. Because it sounds low to me. So it probably will sound low to you. 20 years and beyond. There we go. I'm going to try it again. 20 years of improving access. 20 years of creating safe spaces and enhancing the lives of those most vulnerable. 20 years of guiding policy. 20 years of leadership. 20 years of providing funds. The Children's Services Council of Broward County. For the past 20 years and beyond, our focus is our children. There's nothing more important than your health or your family's health. At Community Care Plan, we're focused on one thing, providing you with quality care from a health plan you can trust. To not have to worry about whether or not you can afford to see a doctor that day. To trust that your child's health will be cared for at every step. Our insurance plans help people get quality care that's affordable from highly rated doctors. And we are owned by Florida's leaders in healthcare, Broward Health, Memorial Healthcare System, and the Joe DiMaggio and Sala Children's Hospitals. Don't wait to feel confident in your healthcare. Visit ccpcares.org today to get started with Community Care Plan, the health plan with a heart.
Better health. Start here with Memorial Healthcare System, providing safe, convenient, high-quality care options that are right for you. But what should you do? See your primary care doctor via telehealth or in person? See a doctor online? Head to urgent care or schedule a virtual visit? Get 24/7 care or head to the ER? The right choice can save money and time. So start here, and we'll help you choose at mhs.net/start here for an exceptional care experience from Memorial. Kids are amazing, but just in case, their healthcare should be amazing too. At Florida Kid Care, millions of kids get their health and dental insurance for free or at a low cost. And your child can too. Available from birth to the end of age 18. Florida Kid Care, insurance built for kids.
Hi, my name is Farah. I am one of the care coordinators for the Healthy Start program at the Urban League of Broward County. Healthy Start is a free home visitation program for pregnant women and families with children up to the age of 3. As care coordinators, we provide you with education, support, and linkage to family resources in the community in order to give your baby the best start in life. If you're interested in becoming a part of the Healthy Start program, please contact Connect at 954 567 7174. Again, that number is 954 567 7174.
All right, y'all, we are back. I'm going to go reach out and grab Cassandra because we're getting ready to close this thing down. Cassandra, welcome back. Are you on mute?
I am on mute. Hi, you guys. We came back. So listen, I feel like I've hung out with you guys all day because this was so much information, Alima, and it was so helpful. I had to go back real quick because my last baby is 6 years old. So it's been a minute, but I had to go back and hear everything that Tashia was saying. It was such good information. I so appreciate it. I'm going to go ahead and do a quick plug. Okay, Tashia was originally Urban League of Broward County, and once an Urban Leaguer, always an Urban Leaguer. So Tashia, technically, you basically still belong to us. I'm just saying.
Ooh,
No, just playing.
wow.
We love you, Tashia, and we're so proud of you. Thank you so much for what you just did. It was wonderful information for our clients and the community as a whole, right? So we're good. Alima, you want to wrap this up because we got to see the people tomorrow also.
We want to see the people tomorrow real quick. I just want to address to Dory. She wants to know, will this live be available once it's done? Yes, it is. You can catch it on Healthy Stars Facebook page, Urban League's Facebook page, on our Twitter page, as well as YouTube. So it's around, and you'll be able to rewatch, revisit, relearn, rehear, reshare.
Not read
Um,
here.
and also, I think
So,
that was it. I want to give the information for where to come to tomorrow.
okay.
Please jot this down. Urban League of Broward County, 560 Northwest 27th Avenue, Fort Lauderdale, 33311, 10:30 a.m., 12:30 p.m. The live raffles will be from 11 to 12. You will get one of these really, really nice bags, stuffed with diapers, wipes, onesie, just some other things that we have inside, as well as be able to go around and collect what our amazing vendors will have to offer you and share the information and resources. So please make sure you come out to get your participant goodie bag as well as get a chance to win some of these amazing raffles that we'll have tomorrow. As you know, me and Cassandra named a few earlier: high chairs, breast pumps, pack and plays, extra
Car
offer,
seats. Did you remember
car
car
seats.
seats?
We
We
have the
got
travel,
them.
we have the car seat stroller combo.
We
Then we
do.
have convertible car seats for once your baby gets older and get out of that infant car seat
That
stage.
is
And
correct.
this one normally carries you to about 4 or 5 years old or up to 50 pounds, depending on which one it is, and much more. So there's so much for you to win. We want to be able to see you. We thank you so much for coming on here today.
In
14th
person.
annual shower.
Come hang out. Come hang out with us. Come hang out with us tomorrow. And you know what? All the stuff that you learned today, some of you may have missed some things. Listen, Alima will let it play for you again. So you'll be able to catch some of these things tomorrow. If anyone is concerned about being able to contact some of the speakers today, that information will be back out again as well. So Alima will share that. So don't worry, we have it all for you. And I think unless there's anything else, Alima, if I can close it out, I want to say thank you so much on behalf of BIPI as chair of Bippy, I just want to say that we have worked really, really hard in the past couple of years. Obviously, during the pandemic, it's been hard to connect with you guys a little bit more. But we are so excited that we continue to do this in partnership with Broward Healthy Start Coalition, of course, the Urban League of Broward County, and many other stakeholders. But I think I would be remiss if I didn't give a shout out to specific people that have been making this possible by attending the Bippy meetings. We are so thankful for you. First of all, big shout out to Alima. I think she came off, but I want to say that because let me tell you something, you guys. It's been a lot this year, and she has been running around Broward County for this community. And I am thankful for her as my partner, a silent co chair without knowing it. But we can't do it alone. So we so appreciate all the help that she has brought in. Alima will run in the middle of the afternoon in the sun and the rain everywhere to get these items for our community. So we're thankful for you and all that you have put in for that. You're not there on the screen, so I can't give you the shout out, but I just wanted to say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you on behalf of Bippy, on behalf of Bippy's chair. I want to thank you personally for everything that you've done. I want to also thank other committee members. Michelle Hakes, I don't think she's on the line, but she is with Children's Service Council. Thank you, thank you, thank you for showing up to the meetings and always being able to just give us more information and also just give us a different lens. So we appreciate that. Elvira Calizera, I always mess up Elvira's last name, but she is with the Department of Health. Specifically, she works with perinatal HIV and she sees some of our clients. We are thankful for you. Thank you. Diana Gomez with Sunshine Health, who always attends our meeting. Thank you. Candace Torrance with Living Well at Urban League. Thank you. Esther Singleton, she shows up with DOH WIC. Thank you. And Deborah McGee. I had to say these names specifically because they have been on the line with us in the past several months, just helping get the shower set off. So we wanted to make sure we say thank you to them. So I appreciate it. Again, tomorrow, please, please, please make sure that you come pick up your items and come hang out with us. It's part two, shower part two, if you will. But we will be at the Urban League of Broward County, and the address, I hope by now you guys memorized it because I've been saying it, 560 Northwest 27th Avenue. And if you don't know the Urban League, once you walk in, just know that we are here to serve our community, to secure economic self-reliance, parity, power, everything. We are here. We are here to help the community in every area, from education, entrepreneurship, jobs, and training, justice, housing, and health. So if you walk in here tomorrow for the baby shower and you think you're just going to get that information in a bag, if you need something where it needs to be dealt with, if you have education needs, jobs and training needs, all these things, we do have them in-house as well. So we'll be able to do referrals for you and get you started in these programs. Alima, I don't know what else to say, but this is another one, girl. We on it. We on it. This is my dance, y'all. We on it. We on it.
I feel like DJ Khaled when he's like,
We the
another
best.
one.
Well, we the best.
And we the best, yes.
We the best. It has been a pleasure. This is my people's. Listen, you guys, we are the dynamic duo, and we so appreciate you guys, and we love the feedback. We love your energy because you always show up and you always pay attention. Listen, I think we have the best mommies in the world. I might have to
Broward
say
County,
that.
yes.
Broward, stand up. Sidebar, I always wanted to be a rapper, so that's what I wanted to say. Broward,
Just
stand
want
up.
to ask. That was, yeah, it was kind of.
So, Alima, I
Put it
think
out
we're done.
We are done. Of course, we're going to leave it up for a second. That way you can get the information that you need in the chat. But again, can't wait to see everyone tomorrow. Thank you so much for participating today. All the resources will be available, just like Cassandra said, not only Urban League of Broward County, Healthy Start, and all of the vendors. You will see a small clip as it's scrolling as we're ending this, showing you who's going to be there tomorrow and just the type of information that will be given out. So again, as Cassandra said, this is another one for the books. We will see Cassandra again later on in the year because we do this thing in Haitian Creole, sac passe.
Napule all day.
There
All day.
you
I
have
got
it.
you.
All right, so we'll see you all tomorrow, 10:30 a.m. sharp. Get there, be there, or be square.
Be square. See you in October.
All right, everyone. So see you soon, and let's pull this up, and we are out of here.
Bye-bye.